Hello, everybody, and welcome to a brand new Work in Progress podcast.
Yes, brand new Work in Progress podcast. Exactly.
So brand new that we had to.
Cinema-san, right?
No. That anime is canceled. We're done with anime now.
For now, anime will
now.
be back, but not now.
Not now.
We're actually not even doing animation.
No, that's the other fun thing about this is that for the first time we're gonna be doing a podcast about live action. In this case, it is the oeuvre of British director Edgar Wright.
Edgar.
Welcome to Pixar. The Pixar.
Yes, my favorite directors: Edgar, Spongegar, and Patar.
Welcome to Pixar Wright.
Pixar perspective never dies.
Pixar perspective never dies.
We're calling this right now the Right. Oh no, that was wrong. That's
you
about
do not
right.
know the name of your own podcast. Why did my voice crack?
And we're calling this podcast That's About Right.
That's about right. Yes.
Yeah.
That's about jumping the fence.
The title that Neville will.
It's all right. But that's another story. So we're basically going to be talking about Edgar Wright films and all the films he's made. And yeah, we're also going to be talking about. Were we going to mention the other show? Or yeah.
Well, that'll be for the next episode, so we can discuss that later on. But right now, since I'm now the one back in control of this podcast, fine. The power.
I have the power.
I started like lining up the what episodes we're gonna be doing, and because the thing is I didn't want to just start off with Chart of the Dead or even like his television shows, because I wanted because like Edgar Wright is a pretty dang good director, and if we're gonna have a podcast, we better throw some shit in there. So what we were thinking at first is we were gonna go for his first feature film, first ever feature film that he did in college, called hold on, I don't have that prepared in front of me.
Last Night in Soho.
Not
Scott Pilgrim.
keep name Fistful of Fingers is what it's called. It was a that was came out in 1995. It was a full length feature. The thing is that it had it did get like broadcast on TV once, but apparently nobody cared enough to record it because there is no footage of this damn thing that I can find online. Edgar Wright had been talking about like maybe putting it on a DVD one day, and he did screen it to festivals and stuff, but we know nothing about it. And also like from the footage I've seen, I'm pretty sure I saw like English students doing like red face, and no, let's not do that one.
Hell no. No. Hell to the no.
Hell to the no. What we're gonna be doing instead is one of the only I'm pretty sure the only one of his short films that we have. The Dirty Harry tribute, Dead Right, came out in '93.
That's about right. That's about dead right.
Yes. The only reason that we know about this one is because it was in the special features of the Hot Fuzz, which we might end up talking about more than the actual film. Let's I guess we can just take it. Oh, we also didn't introduce ourselves. It's only been 5 minutes. We didn't introduce ourselves.
That's because we're tired. We're recording this quote unquote early in the morning compared to our times. It's like 9ish.
One of us is tired.
One of us is tired.
I'm sorry, my sleep schedule is destroyed. But I'm random bystander here.
I am the wash.
Here. Okay, sorry, say that again.
I am the wash.
This is my introduction. It's fine.
I was just so annoyed at that.
I know. I realized I interrupted you. It's like you should probably say it again.
No. Look, I'm the one editing this. Keep it in.
This is coming in. This is staying in.
Just do it. Plot synopsis. I'll do it. There are two policemen. One's name is Nick Frost. One is Simon Pegg. And
but their names are Nick Frost.
But to keep it brief, only because this is going to be a brief episode, it's so in some regards it's very similar to Hot Fuzz, but in other regards it isn't. But long story short, there's a serial murderer going around, and there are two policemen assigned to stop him. One of them dies, and it partially becomes a story of avenging his friend, and also just becomes a story of killing, whatever, however you want to put it, the culprit. A lot happens, but that's just a basic overview.
I just got the serial murder pun.
I was surprised that they didn't actually like spell that out. They just let the audience like figure that put all that in for themselves.
It was funny.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, this is it's a student film.
It's a student
It
film.
literally is. Like, he was 18 years old. He was making this during the summers while he was away from college. Like, this is in every respect a student film. And it actually, like, as I was watching, I was actually thinking more about like the film projects that I worked on or that we worked on.
Same. Yeah. I was thinking of all the bad movies that we made back when we were in middle school and high school.
Yeah.
And just like, oh god.
Maybe that'll be a topic for the podcast someday.
If anything, we should do a live reaction of them.
Maybe, but like some of it is genuinely like bad.
Yeah, it's all bad. It's all bad.
It's all pretty
bad. It's all pretty bad. Like, this at least has some good in it. I will say that. There's some moments where like the cinematography is great. You notice some Edgar Wright directing when like, or sound editing when like the music synchronizes with the way they lock the door. I noticed that. I was like, that's Edgar Wright.
There were a lot of, I noticed, just talking on Edgar Wright, a lot of very quick zoom in shots of somebody like putting on clothes and stuff like that.
Yep.
Very Edgar Wright.
And probably the single most Edgar Wright of them all is whip pans and wipe transitions, where they would have like there's a shot of the killer and it's like a bunch of cars and trucks start driving over, and one of the trucks turn into a white transition to the victim. Like, there's so many of that, so much of that in Edgar Wright, and then also the whip pans of just like whoosh, just panning straight into the next person, and it's very clear that like, and I was watching some of the because there's a making of that was included with the DVD, and it's very clear that Edgar Wright really loves American films and American action film, and it makes sense that like at least one of the ones that we have access to is a comedy, like a straight up comedy, which is what he's been doing, like at least so far, what he's been doing since then.
So you say all this, and that's all correct, but I didn't even notice this while I was watching it. It was a YouTube comment that pointed it out, actually. I was looking through the comments just to see what everybody thought about it, and I saw one comment that had a timestamp, and it said, "Jumping the fence?" And I didn't even notice it because I didn't see any jumping the fence. I wasn't even thinking about it. It's the first victim is just walking to his home, and it's just him walking up to the camera, and there's this very small fence that he could have walked around, but he specifically jumped over. And wow, even before he made movies, he was jumping the fence.
Of course he was. It's Edgar Wright.
That's the most Edgar Wright thing about this.
It's just there's so many like different like movie tributes. There's one point in the movie where we're jumping around a lot because this is this is more of like an airplane kind of comedy
Yes.
than like
Yeah.
any of his other ones where it's actually like structures and it has characters. But like there's a point towards the end of the movie where the main character Barry is literally quoting word for word Dirty Harry. Did I fire 7 stocks or 6, or in this case 6 stocks or 5? It's it's just so clearly that he just like really loves movies and watching and all these different films, and he's just like taking up all these little pieces and just absorbing them and just throwing out everything in there just because he and this is probably the thing that makes this the most student film is he's throwing all this in just because it looks cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is honestly, it's honestly admirable because there's so many like I've been to like film classes and there's like a lot of like student films that are just fucking boring.
This is not boring.
This is
No,
not boring. It's not boring.
It can be nonsensical at times, and the plot is all over the place, but it's not boring.
Yeah. It also gets like gory and like weird in a student film way of like
it's Edgar Wright. I was expecting.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Baby Driver, but I've seen the rest of his main films that are out as of right now. And I'm pretty sure the only one that didn't have any kind of gore in it was what's it called? Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah. And that one was PG-13, I think. So they couldn't.
Yeah, it was based on something
couldn't-
pre-existing that didn't really have any gore in it, so he couldn't do
Yeah.
anything with it. But
Yeah.
Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, World's End,
Yeah.
all those.
Yeah. The trilogy is very bloody. Is very
Yes.
gory indeed.
Yeah, I got to see Baby Driver, but the other three definitely.
Yeah. And it's good God, Hot Fuzz, the gory Hot Fuzz. But we'll talk about that. We are talking about Dead Right. We swear. So okay, so we're getting like we're jumping like around a lot. But what did we actually think about Dead Right?
It's hard to judge it. It's a student film. Pretty
I liked
much.
it.
I liked it too, but like, it's like comparing this to all the other films he's made. It's like obviously there's some flaws, but for a student film, it's not that bad. I think it just goes with the idea of like, hey, we're just a fun film that we made in a couple weekends in the summer. Let's have fun with it, and it works. They're constantly breaking the fourth wall.
Constantly.
Constantly. Actually, it's shattered into like it's disintegrated by the time the movie ends.
Yeah.
Even during like serious moments, they have like gags. They have like fight scenes with lots of blood. Even at the end, there's like a Looney Tunes gag of the guy pulling out the grenade and just looking at the camera.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I was about to say what serious moments. Because like
I say serious with air quotes.
it's like Barry himself he's so one note. He is like a he's a British kid trying to impersonate Clint Eastwood, and it's his character is just like all over the place, and it just seems like his all that we get is that his one goal is to catch the killer. And even when he catches the killer, he's like, "No, wait, we didn't catch the killer my way," and he let him go.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, now we can catch the killer.
I'll give him 10 seconds.
10 seconds. and like stuff. It is kind of hard to judge because like it's stupid, but that's exactly the kind of joke I would put in my student film.
Exactly.
I think we have done like stuff like that. Like do you remember? Do you remember when I had to do a project? I had to do an adaptation of Oedipus, and
I hated that.
The production, especially towards the end of that one, got really bad when it was like. Yeah, it was like late at night, and we ended up like shooting the vast majority of it in my parents' bedroom. Good grief, terrible. Again, terrible. Do not. But the initial part of that, like while it was still like sunny outside, I genuinely had a blast. Like when we was trying to do like the like some like motorcycle guy coming in that's supposed to be the Sphinx, and it's just me with a beard.
That's what you do for student films. That's
yeah.
when it gets fun. I remember Edgar Wright saying in that introduction bit, this was just something that him and his friends did for fun, and unfortunately we have to watch it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like we had a lot of fun. Maybe you'll have even less fun watching it. and that's what student films are.
Exactly.
There's a genuine love on the screen, and like if I were to meet the young Edgar Wright, I would give him a few notes. Listen, if you want to make it big in the world, you gotta think about characters and motivation and personality and story.
Is this the red line of Edgar Wright films?
I was almost gonna mention like a red line, or I mentioned Airplane earlier, which is the red line of comedies.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. What else was I gonna say?
I have to stop that serial killer before he reaches Funky Boy's lair.
And then Funky Boy turns out to be like an older kid like dressed in cardboard.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Funky Boy's the cardboard monster. I think is
it has what's the cardboard monster? Let me check.
Cinema-san never dies.
Box Monster is what it's
okay.
Box Monster is what it's called in the credits. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh god, I love that they called it Box Monster. There were honestly so many like. Honestly, they used what they could, like, because they couldn't get like a huge budget, and the fact that they used cardboard was kind of charming in a weird way.
Oh yeah. Oh, 100%.
Like, it was hilarious.
It came and went.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is that I like if I were to like critique this like literally, I would say that it went on like way too long.
Oh my god, this should have been like a 20-minute film.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give it some more credit. I'll say like a half-hour special, but it could have been cut. That's probably what my biggest problem is. I get it's a student film and everything, but I talked about pacing with Airplanes. I'll talk about it with a student film. You know, it could have been shorter.
It was all over the place at points, and I
love all over the place. You know, I love Red Line, I love Airplane. You know, I love this, but it could have been shorter.
It could have been shorter, and I think Edgar Wright knows that it could have been shorter now.
I mean, there's a lot of like hindsight that because in the making of for this, he mentioned that like this was that this was a first draft, and he didn't actually like work on anything with more than one draft until Space, which tells you a lot of, like how like the commitment he puts into writing, at least at the time.
Yeah,
that is he's way more into like the cool set pieces than he is into like a well structured film.
I mean, even looking at some of his later films, I haven't seen Hot Fuzz or World's End recently, but looking at Shaun of the Dead and especially Scott Pilgrim, very basic layout, but it's all about the individual moments and the cool set pieces, the editing. So you could definitely there's a lot of Edgar Wright that I see in this.
Oh yeah, yeah, without a doubt.
It's the Edgar Wright like undercooked.
Yes.
like he hasn't come freshly out of the oven yet, and I think that like once we get into Space, which we'll talk about, once we get into Space, that's when we can really start to see him like fully develop his craft. But yeah, it's so hard to like talk about this without talking about Hot Fuzz, especially with like it's shot in the same location as Hot Fuzz.
Legitimately, yep.
like you literally see the church that
Yeah.
that I'm not gonna spoil any of the details, but you literally see the church. The box monster. That's the living statue.
Mm-hmm.
There's the one guy on the phone. For some reason, there's this one shot of him like Barry, and he's like slammed on the phone. God damn it, you son of a bitch! And
That guy.
Yeah, that's the guy who later showed up as a Village of the Year judge. They brought him back, which was nice. I'm pretty sure he was a drama teacher.
Cool.
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice of him. But like, the detail with that was just like that he like slammed the phone, but he didn't actually slam it into the hook, so
Yes,
the
I
phone
saw
just
that.
falls off.
It just falls off. I saw that.
There's literally, also I just loved every time he was on screen because he was just shouting constantly. Even it wasn't like a realistic shouting because he didn't even give people to respond. Yes, no, shit.
This is also like a very much a student film thing. In fact, I've done this for my own student film. It is like just getting like your teacher to be in the.
Oh yes.
That's literally what I had to do for one of my short films. It was
You did?
I got in like the TV director, and I just put him in front of the camera. And he was supposed to be like supposed to be a lawyer, but he did the acting like a used car salesman.
And it worked. It did. I saw it.
It ended up working, yeah, and that's kind of it also just adds its own charm for people who know him, because like I can't tell you how many times, like whenever I was screening that around school, there was so many people just cheering at the sight of him because they know him so well.
But I mean, even ignoring that though, I mean, you said he was a TV guy, the one in the Edgar Wright movie. He was a drama teacher. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. They've been trained for this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think that was part of why, also part of why like I ended up choosing him, just because like it's like, yeah, this feels about right, and also like you're one of the only like older guys that I know, so
Yeah, but I mean, you could pick your math teacher, or your English teacher. No, you're gonna pick the one that knows what they're doing.
And knows what the hell they're doing.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
A math teacher can't really do a monologue that's believable.
They could do the Pythagorean theorem, but can they act? No.
I mean, unless your math teacher is like secretly wants to be an actor
I mean, that's true.
in life, but that's a rare.
That's
kind of how I started. I started with math, and now I'm in acting.
Like I'm picturing like a kid trying to like film the math teacher and says, "Okay, action," and the math teacher said, "I'll have you know that y equals mx plus b."
That's slope formula, not Pythagorean theorem.
No, I'm adding to the joke.
Are we really arguing about math?
I'm removing from the joke.
This is Edgar Wright. That's about right, everybody. Where we argue about math while talking about a student film. That's about right.
That's just how student films work. They're very all over the place.
They are.
It's fine. It's fine. I liked how over the place this was. I liked how genuine it felt.
Yeah, it did feel genuine. That's
I'm not going to complain about Edgar Wright's other movies because they're brilliant, but I this isn't even like to the fault of him. That's just kind of a Hollywood thing. But this just felt so. I mean, okay, I know Edgar Wright isn't Hollywood; he's from the UK, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
this just felt so genuine.
it did. Like, even if it was all over the place and the plot wasn't the plot was like could have gone, and
The plot was
Even
implied.
the plot was implied. The character development was little to none. You can't hate it because it does feel genuine. You know this was made by people who enjoy the film.
Exactly. And I mean, Barry did have some development. He started hating his partner, and by the end, they were kissing.
Yes, off screen, but they
Off
did
screen.
it.
That wasn't so bad.
No.
I got a good laugh. That whole bit got a good laugh out of me.
What kind of made of the way I read that at least was that like he because the pan it's like, okay, we're gonna have to just kiss me, you fool, and the camera pans away, and then it pans back, and the partner's dead, and he says, "Wasn't that bad?" like, hey, come on, don't stop dying.
No, the way I interpreted that from this, like, as soon as I saw it, is when he said, "People may be watching, like, I'll kiss you. I don't have a problem with that. I just don't think I want anybody seeing it."
and it's the sort of he's playing on the same sort of like man-to-man friendship that would end up being like a recurring thing in Hot Fuzz, the weird sort of homoeroticism that yeah.
Honestly, what it reminded more than anything in Hot Fuzz, just like the setup reminded me more of, and we'll talk about the Dead Right itself, but it reminded me of the ending of Shaun of the Dead when I don't remember the name, so I'm just gonna say Nick Frost, but when Nick Frost was dying and they had their final moment together. That's what it reminded me of more than anything. But I've seen Shaun of the Dead very recently. I haven't seen Hot Fuzz in years, so that might be why. But I definitely I got all over the place. Every film in the Cornetto trilogy, even Scott Pilgrim in places, I got vibes from all of his other movies in this.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, I there was one point in the making of where he was talking about like because there's a line in there where the cops were asking, is there going to be a car chase, and Mike Tight says no. And then the drama teacher says, "Hey, come on, this is a British film."
Yeah.
And in the making of, he said that like at the time there was what he called substandard British thrillers that he just hated because they were like trying to quote take on the Americans at their own game and failing miserably.
Ooh.
And I feel like that's kind of what he's been doing like his entire career now, is just making American films in England. I know like two of his favorite films, Raised in Arizona and American Werewolf in London, are both American films, although American Werewolf in London is shot in London, so maybe he has some attachment to that as well.
I'm trying to think of more things to say about the film, but it was just I wouldn't call it like a quote unquote amazing film, but it was still like fun to watch, even though it did go on forever.
It dragged on.
It dragged on.
It did drag on. Even there are many points where I was like, oh, this must be the end. No, the YouTube bar says we're halfway through. Okay.
Yes, I felt the same way. I was like, oh, this is over, and then 20 minutes left.
I was like, what could happen?
I liked in the ending, I really liked the montage, quote unquote, of the ways that the two of them could have been friends.
Oh my god, it was so silly.
That was really silly. I liked it a lot.
You know what we haven't mentioned, actually? We haven't mentioned the performances of the actors, really.
Very cheesy.
Oh, yes, of course.
Very student film, very am-dram, as you would say. It reminds me a lot of some of the student plays I've seen from Random.
Oh god.
And look,
it's so true though.
Everybody tries. I think like the uptight one, like Mike Tight, I'm pretty sure he's one of the, because like in the previous short films, which we know nothing about. But in the previous short films, like it was just like Edgar Wright and his friends, and like this was the first time when they're actually starting to like go outside of their social circle, and you can definitely see that in like the box, the cereal box fight sequence when there's like 20 guys on screen and it doesn't make a lick of sense.
Yeah.
No.
And the Mike Tight definitely felt like a drama student compared to some of the other ones who are just like Edgar's friends and Edgar's friend trying to do a Clint Eastwood impression.
Yeah, that I can actually see that.
I like when he's killing a bunch of people and then the one guy's like, "No, don't kill me, I'm an undercover cop."
And then he joins in, and then he dies.
Yeah, and then he just dies.
He's like partner number 2 because like the first partner. What the thing is like when you have like he killed my partner. You don't have it like in the halfway mark when we don't know. We
You know what I
it.
think it was? You know what my theory is? I have a theory that the actor who played Mike Tyke couldn't make it to the whole film, and they just got this other guy.
That's
to
because.
be,
Oh, I like
that's
that.
probably what happened.
I like that a lot.
I like that. I like that theory. My only counterpoint is that would imply that there was a second draft to this.
True, good point.
Well, maybe they just couldn't shoot everything in one day.
Honestly, yeah, they couldn't.
I don't know. It's again, it's the student film thing of just throwing in as many goddamn fourth wall jokes. Like how I'm thinking back to like one of Random's plays. There's that one Christmas play he was in where it just ended. It ended with everybody realizing that they were inside of a movie. They were inside of a play the whole time, and it just jumps to that conclusion. It's like they were talking about something. And it's like, wait, but then that means that we're inside of a play, and then they look at the audience and say, "Hey, everybody!" And it was so stupid. It was so dumb, and the thing is, that's actually even less charming for me because the person who wrote who wrote that was not a student.
No, the person who wrote it was, I think the community theater person in charge of the community theater.
Yeah, someone who should know better.
Yeah,
I was just gonna say
when they write little plays like that, 2 of those plays every year, you kind of run out of things to do.
And gosh, I don't know. Aside from like some of the smaller moments, like the part where Edgar Wright himself makes a cameo.
Oh yeah, who's gonna direct now?
Don't kill the director. Oh yeah.
They kill the director. They get some random lady who doesn't know what she's doing to direct it, and then there's this really impressive transition and a lot of dramatic camera shots. It's like this lady knows how to direct.
I honestly, like if there was something where it's like we'll just bring some schmuck in and then like the rest of the film is shot really poorly. Yes. I would be like, that would be ingenious.
That's what I was expecting, and then it was like normal. It was, wow. This random lady they found in context of the story. This random lady that they found, she knows how to direct.
I think that's funny in its own way, though, too.
Oh yeah, me too. That's more Edgar Wright than
and that's more first draft. That's more first draft. Okay, it's on the second draft where you look back on that and it's like, hey, what if we do this?
Yeah.
Instead, they just laid out all the ideas in sequential order and then they just shot it.
That's why I'm saying it sounds like Edgar Wright.
I wouldn't go that far. I think he would at least do a second draft.
Well, would he do the second draft? The writers would do the second draft.
Yeah. But this is a student film. They didn't need to do it.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
What grade do you think he got for this?
I don't think it was for a project.
Oh yeah,
no, it was not a school project. It was something that he was just doing on his own.
What grade do you think he would have gotten for this?
A+.
Yeah, you know what? I think the teacher would have probably pointed out all of the pacing problems, but and probably would have been like, "Do you really have to do it that gory?" But aside from that, I think it would get a solid grade because it's like.
Can you cut it down a bit?
Speaking of cutting down, time's up.
Finally. We were really dragging our feet with that one.
Honestly, yeah, I was like, oh god, what the hell do I say? Final thoughts? Should I go first?
Yeah, you want to go first?
Why not? It's a student film. That's what else can you say about it? It's not Mozart. It's not Citizen Kane. It's not one of the best films you ever seen in your life, but you could tell that young Edgar Wright put a lot of genuineness into the shots. He did care about making this movie, and even though it has a lot of problems with the pacing and the character development, it's still funny. in both when it's in trying to be and when it's probably not trying to be. And I don't know, the intention's there, so I can't hate it. I just can't hate it. If anything, it'll probably be my least favorite of the bunch just because of the things that Edgar Wright's movies are so good. But I still can't hate this. It's just, I don't know.
Fair.
There's something, like you said, there's something genuine about it, and I really enjoyed it. Like,
fair.
not like as much as I probably would his other films, but I still liked it.
That's good. I guess I'll go second. There's not a whole lot to say about this because it's so like really every single like complaint I could have about it: the pacing, the one note characters, the weird sort of fourth wall joke that doesn't really pay off to anything. All of that can be attributed to first draft, and it's kind of something that just shuts down the argument because there's just not much more to go off of here because it is very clearly just like a little kid, 18-year-old who was really into action films. He was really into it, like it's the classic sort of like kid thing where it's like for a summer you're like extremely obsessed about one certain thing. Like the summer when I was extremely obsessed about WarioWare or Toontown Online,
or SpongeBob.
Well, that never died.
The summer. The summer never died.
Just like Pixar's Perspective and CinemaSon never dies. Yay!
But and it's cute. I can't really say I enjoyed it that much, beyond just the sort of hokiness of it, because like it dragged. It did drag on. At the same time, it was only like it was not even 40 minutes. Like the only reason it was 40 minutes was because Edgar Wright did an intro at the very beginning explaining what you're about to see.
And you know what? There also was the 18 rating.
There was a what?
There was the 18 plus rating or something like that at the beginning.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
There was I think I'm guessing that had to be like some other teacher, or maybe like his dad. It's just like some guy just saying like, "Oh, this is 18 plus," and for like bad jokes and everything like that. And there were a lot of bad jokes in this. But yeah, it's fine. I'm it's fine. It's good to watch like once, especially if you're an Edgar Wright fan. It's good to watch once, and then that's about it. Like you watch it once, you say like, oh, I can see like where this idea and this idea would later come into play with his other films, and then that's about it. Like you just go off into the knowledge that Edgar Wright made a lot of different short films and a feature film while he was still a student, and then he would move on to television, which we'll talk about soon. Scooby fan, what are your final thoughts?
I enjoyed it. I could see myself watching this more than once, just skipping over some of the bits that dragged out.
Yeah.
But I could legitimately see myself watching this more than once. We've watched our fair share of films and not looking like ignoring the fact that this is a student film. I would watch this 10 more times before going back to watch like actual movies, you know, the Cars 2s, the Bugs Life, the Monsters U's, Cars 3. Technically doesn't count, but it's still technically a movie. Actually, I would, for all the movies that we've watched, I would most compare this to Sonic, because Sonic was the Japanese equivalent to direct to VHS. And in every regard, this blows Sonic just completely out of the water. Like, it's not even close. I don't think there's anything in the music is better in Sonic. Otherwise, just everything about this it makes Sonic look like a joke, more of a joke than it already is.
and this is that's especially funny because like this is literally shot on VHS.
It's literally shot on VHS.
Oh my god.
I mean, obviously, looking at it as a whole, it's not great. I can't see anybody putting up a defense for this being anything other than just good. But all things considered, the fact that it even is good is kind of a miracle. I enjoyed it. I would definitely, like I said, skipping bits in mind.
Yeah.
I would go back to watch it again. The fact that there, like I said, there are Pixar films that I would rather not watch is a testament to just how I think Edgar Wright was onto something from the very beginning, even if it was very unprofessional, very cluttered, very throw ideas at the wall, whichever ones make us laugh, that'll work. That has a special kind of charm to it. I like when, student or not, I like when movies do that every so often. It reminds me of when we write stuff together, or when we write stuff together and it's my turn.
Yes.
Oh god, like how many times where it's like we start on something and then we give up just because like, oh well, I'm tired.
I'm in the mood for character development today.
It's honestly impressive that to make like a student film of this caliber that's like almost 40 minutes. Like considering like some of the stuff that we just gave up on because we just like we just gave up on like a 5-minute sketch.
Yeah,
because, like we were just exhausted already. And like pretty much some of the only stuff that we ever like finished were improvised.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, we and I think if anything, this is this to be a good symbol of like just do what you want to do. Just make the films you want to make. And I think Edgar Wright's entire purpose, like everything, when he almost did like a Marvel film, when he almost did Ant-Man, and then Marvel was putting too much creative control on it, and he was like, "This is not what I want to make. I'm leaving." And so I think that's just what he just ran with, like for pretty much his whole career. It's like if I'm not having fun making this, then I'm out. Yeah, well, it's cute. It's
nice. It's a nice start.
It's a nice start. Yeah, it's one of many starts that he's had. This is just the one that we have actual footage of.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
now the only question remains, since both this and Sonic were made for VHS, are we dubbing over this with the Sonic voices?
No. Look, you can keep bringing back that Sonic episode.
You got 6 shots or 5.
That Sonic episode with lightning in the bottle. You can't recreate that.
No,
okay?
you can't.
You wouldn't kill a woman in cold blood, would you?
And on that note, we're gonna end.
Yeah, we're wrapping it up. We just now, according to my audition software, we just now hit 45 minutes, which is shocking because around this point that we still be talking about the movie, but we've now completely wrapped up. We might be doing a ranking, but obviously this is like the first film, and it's obviously gonna be on the bottom no matter what.
Yeah, unless we think of something worse.
I genuinely like. I was looking through.
I don't think. I think this is gonna be the worst this one will get. Honestly, for now.
I would looking through like his different credits and stuff, and like unless you like really stress the definition and start throwing stuff he wrote for Tintin, or he directed a 2-minute trailer for Grindhouse. Unless you like throw all that in, there's really not much else to work with. And we're lucky that that next episode, transition, we are going to be going into space, because with films like this, and especially Fistful of Fingers, he got a good amount of attention from TV comedians in the UK, and they said, hey kid, you got some chops. Do you want to direct some TV shows for us? And he did. And one of those shows, probably his almost certainly his most famous show, is Space. And next episode, we're going to be going into the first 3 episodes of Space. And I'm very excited because we finally get to do a podcast about television.
Yeah.
Not only and live action television at that. You think we had gone to like cartoons first, but no. We're gonna go into the British sitcom Space.
Yes, we will.
Before we wrap it up, can I just get like a while you've not seen Space, what are your initial thoughts gonna be going into Space?
Something tells me it involves space.
Simon Pegg and Nick Frost.
Okay, so one of those is right.
Oh, Nick Frost isn't in it?
No, it is. He is.
Oh,
wait, so it's not about space?
Oh, that's what you meant. Oh, that's what you meant. Okay.
Yeah. We'll talk about why it's called Space, I guess. But in the meantime, I've been the Wash.
I'm random bystander here.
What do I do for the outro? There's nothing.
You say like, God damn it, you son of a bitch. Or it wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad.
Honestly, that was.
Oh yeah, actually that could have been a good one.
Oh, what was the I was gonna say hangs up phone because I remember there was one outro where random said something really stupid and it was really funny. But I don't remember what it was. I think it was Wolf Children, but I can't remember.
I don't remember half the things I say on a given basis, so I can't help you.
The only thing I remember was in the ending of the Cars 3: The Third Wheel was when Random said, "I'm random bystander here," and you like laughed so hard that you like choked through your.
I laughed through my nose. Yeah, I laughed through my nose. That hurt so much.
And I heard that too. It was like painful.
It was so painful.
I
am wet. Hey, the horniness stops here.
Did we end?
Okay, see you next time for Space. Bye.
Bye.